Oh, hey everybody, Dogbear here in DC Rose Collide with another character spotlight. Today, the newest character, Star Sapphire Carol. Star Sapphires are essentially the violet rings. Much like Green Lanterns, there's many Star Sapphires, not just her. She was kind of like the first. That's kind of how it works in the mythos. So she is an epic character just released. You can get her currently at 30% chance out of the mother box if you're doing the regular pulls or you're pulling with gems. So the first thing we look at is what we gear her with. You absolutely positively want a 4-piece attack power set on her. The reason being that everything is capped much. She's a weird character in that she collects healing power. In that if somebody gets healed, she collects like a portion of that and that increases her attack. It kind of stacks up, and then when she goes to attack, it takes some of that and makes it onto her attack. But it's all capped out at her attack power. What her max attack power is the cap of how much she can collect. So more attack power she gets, the more she can collect, the harder she can hit. As for the 2-piece set, I have speed on her to speed her up. She's a pretty fast character. Her base speed is 206 because I have a 2-piece set. I have a 214 on her. There's very much a good argument for a crit set too, because she can hit pretty hard, and crit set would also help as well. Speed set just happened to be what I have laying around. Unfortunately, I've been pulling too many characters lately. Brand new ones. First world problems. Her emblem's also interesting. The first level is absolutely positively needed, I think, and I'm working on that. This is just using those blues internet, whatever they're called. Collected heal amount to be consumed increases by an additional 10%. Yes, it's taking more collected heal amount, but that's also more damage. So that is definitely something you definitely want to get. Throw the blues into her. However, like going the purples into the specific color, green for her or rainbows, I don't know. As the second level, if an enemy target is defeated by her ultimate, she heals all allies for hit points equal to 100% of her attack power. That would be a very situational thing to do and pull off and need that heal all at the same time. I'm not sure if it's worth throwing the purples into her. And then if you wanted to go even farther, if an enemy target is defeated by her ultimate will not enter cooldown, which is kind of neat that you can then reuse her ultimate if you have the energy again. But again, how often is this really going to happen where you trigger her ultimate, kill somebody, have enough energy left over then to do it again? And by then they also consumed the collected heal amount, so how hard is it really going to hit? So this is going to be an interesting character. I say do the first emblem, throw the blues in, they're fairly easy to get, but maybe just not bother with the purples and eventually the colors. I mean, yes, you do get increased stats. I don't know how important that's really going to be long term going on this character. I will say this character is pretty good. She is a single burst target, though. I don't think she's going to be god tier. I think she's going to be decent, like a Jessica Cruz. And the way you play her is actually kind of like a Jessica Cruz, too, as we'll see in the videos. Let's take a look at her Tactical Renaissance. Unfortunately, 2 of them are already blocked out, so we're not getting those. The other one, you have to have Wonder Woman and Sinestro 2 legendaries to activate and to get the 10% attack power. Not too many people are going to be unlocking it, myself included. So her skills will start with the ultimates, because that's what comes up first. Deals power, the base one is deals power equal to 360% of her attack power to an enemy target and consumes 40% of the collected heal amount to convert into additional pack power. So roughly, let's just say you had 1,000 healed amount, it would take 400 of that and increase her attack power by 400. That's just a simple way of describing it. Ranking her up gets her to damage increased to 410%, so she hits even harder. Her basic also consumes attack healed amount power, whatever. I don't know what they're calling it. Healed amount. It's a very weird mechanic. She attacks an enemy target, dealing 120% of her attack power, and she consumes an additional 20% of the collected heal amount again. 20% of like 1,000 would be 200, so every 1,000 you get 200 into additional attack power for her current basic. So in other words, with her basic, it's going to constantly be taking 20% away. Her ultimate will take 40% away when you trigger that. So it's kind of one of those things you want to build up and then use. Later in the fights, she's going to hit harder because she should have had built up some and lost some, built up some. Over time, it would build up. But that's another problem with her. There's no way to know how much you have. It's the guess. This is the interesting thing. This is her advanced. It has a 3-turn cooldown. Unfortunately, she has a 100% chance to inflict stun on an enemy target for 1 round, and marks the target for 2 rounds. When an ally attacks the marked target, she heals that ally for hit points equal to 30% of attack power. This is of her attack power. So again, this is why you want more attack power. She will heal a little. She's not going to be doing crazy amounts of healing. You gotta remember it's only happening for a couple of rounds if they hit that single target. So depending on what side they're on, you generally want to keep her on your left side, since the character in the middle then will and of course the one tank will all hit the same target. So people who need to be healed should be over there like your main tank. If you get her up to rank 7, which I do recommend at least getting her to rank 7 if you can, the defense of the marked target then decreases by an additional 40%. Definitely worth it getting it to rank 7. Man, that's a huge knockdown. It's like a defense down just being put on them, along with any other debuffs you have on them. So this is the passive. This is where we're getting to how she collects the heal amount. She collects 10% of whatever the heal amount is. So it means if you heal for 10,000, she's going to collect 1,000 of that, and then 20% is going to go away for a basic, 40% then would go away for her ultimate. So roughly you could lose 600 of it, but still have 400 left over. She could collect it again, be up to 14. You get the idea. The maximum amount is equal to 100% of her base attack power. So you want to get her attack power up as much as possible. You want to find gear of attack on it. If you rank her up, you get to maximum increase to 150% of her base attack power, so you can collect more. And the one I'm like with all characters, rank 8 so she really unlocks that final one, where she now collects 15% if it's a defensive crit heal, which is very specific. It goes up to 20%, so just figure on 15% actually happening. So it's a very interesting character. Let's take a look at her in battle then. Alright, this is going to be 2 battles within the system recovery. I couldn't use intellect characters, so this actually works out well. One of the new things is we now have 2 collection items we can use. The second item I'm using is the mirror, because that heals the back row, for obvious reasons. I want some more healing with her. Kid Flash, obviously, is the main healer. I had to use Nightwing and Cyborg because they're not blue. And Two-Face, who does stuff in the back row, gives them damage implication. Well, gives them a damage bonus, I should say. See how we're kind of holding off here? We want to use Kid Flash and then immediately use Carol. This is very similar to you use Lex Luthor and then you use Jessica Cruz to hit. As you can see, there's no way to know how much healing amount she actually has. There's nothing to indicate that. I'm kind of holding off on the mirror until I really need to get the heal out, and I'm ready to use Star Sapphire Carol again. I'm just kind of sitting there waiting for her. I had to use Kid Flash, so that would actually give her healing amount. So she's going to hit a little bit harder. She does another heal there. So I'm getting ready to use her, so I quick use the mirror to get some extra healing out there, collect some more healed amount, and she hits Batman for a pretty good amount. Batman's a little bit tankier of a character, so he has a little bit more armor, or defense, I should say. I'm kind of just waiting for both her ultimate and Kid Flash's ultimate to be up. I get Kid Flash healing going off. She's going to hit again. Here she comes. You can see over a 300,000 hit on a rank 7 character here, which is pretty good for me at least. She is the main damage for this particular setup of a team, because I couldn't use blue characters. You can see there is the stun. She tried to do, she marked Batman, we killed Batman. She is going to get another hit here on Zatanna, who doesn't have as much defense as Batman. So she does hit a little bit harder, plus we're longer into the fight. Some more healed amount. Here she comes again with her ultimate. Hitting for 395,000. So the only problem with it is a single target burst. Can be useful against like bosses like this. I don't think it's going to be too useful in Beast Arena. Generally you just want high damage. There's the stun. You'll see there's no way to tell that something's marked other than that stun. So moving on, we'll do the next fight too. Same exact team. We are punching up a little bit. You can see we have the one tank there. He was stunned. He's silenced thanks to Two-Face. So we're healing up. That gives her some power. Here she comes. Another big hit, 379,000 right off the bat. Get rid of one of those tanks already. Holding on to that mirror. Just kind of wanted to use up some energy here because we're about to get the 5. We're going to use the mirror up and then hit her. Getting rid of that tank. So we're down to just 2 boss characters. Both have increased hit points. So we actually got a good scenario here where we have essentially the mark on Superboy, and she hits for 580-some thousand single target damage. That is absolutely insane if you can actually pull it off. It's just a matter of getting that timing down, waiting for that mark. It looks like there is a mark on him. You can see it kind of with the sparklies, but that's kind of hard to watch for that. Plus, you're watching Ultimates if you're playing it manually like I do. Well, we're just getting through this. We got the heal coming. Got to power her up. Here she comes. Another big hit for over 340,000 on Superboy that time, but he didn't have the mark. I think the mark makes her hit even harder. Plus, then if you had a crit set on her, it'd be even nicer. So there's that stun. You can kind of see the sparkles going. Only a 348,000 hit though on that one. Who knows how much heal power we actually had between all the different heals. We're just going to hit that as soon as we can. 316,000. You'll see the damage at the end. This was a long fight. Alright, so let's skip over to the damage screen. Alright, so you can see here is the damage. She is the #1 damage dealer on this particular team. She does do a little bit of healing, as you can see, but nothing compared to Kid Flash, obviously. So nothing spectacular on the healing or anything. That's why I say now you don't really want a heal set. You really want like a crit speed set. Well, speed set can always be made for any character, just about. Why you would want more speed on them. But you can see she can do some quite a good damage in the right team with the right healers. So all this said, who does she work with? Pretty much, you can use something like a Zatanna. If you're unfamiliar with Santana, the whole thing is with her passive giving lifesteal to all allies. Essentially, every time they do something, they would be healing themselves, giving her and Star Sapphire would be collecting more heal power. We also have Constantine, who also gets 10% lifesteal off of his ultimate. That's quite a bit of damage with him. That's a lot more heal power again. Of course, Kid Flash, needless to say, he's a big time healer. Technically, Pandora does do healing because she does restore hit points at equal to 50%. That'd be a unique situation which you're using her with Star Sapphire in that team. You could use Bane if you're still using Bane as a tank. He does heal himself on his ultimate. Whether or not that's enough to make him want to be paired with Star Sapphire, I don't know. And of course, Black Canary, she is the only AoE healer in the game currently. So obviously she would work quite well and give quite a bit of power if you can keep her alive. The problem is she is a purple, therefore her level gets maxed out I think at 220. And of course the other character that I don't have is Martian Manhunter. He's an obvious one with the way if somebody gets healed, that would be an interesting team if like he had Santana, Star Sapphire, Martian Manhunter, plus a couple others on that team. How they would all work out, it's hard to say. I don't really have them to test it out. Until next time, hope this video is helpful and informative.